Tactical analysis, Everton versus Manchester United, Everton's resurgence under Moyes. Everton's second stint under David Moyes has been promising, winning 4 of 6 league games. Their attack has outperformed expected goals XG, netting 12 goals from an XG of 7.0. Their defensive resilience was evident in a narrow win over Crystal Palace. United struggles under Amorim. Manchester United have endured a chaotic season. Despite heavy investment in players, their form has collapsed under new manager Ruben Amorim. After a strong debut win over Everton, they have won only 3 of their last 12 matches. Struggling with injuries and slow defenders and an ineffective midfield. The team lacks mobile center backs and natural wing backs, leading to defensive frailties. They've scored only 16 goals in 14 league games and underperforming. Let's analyze.
It started with the build-up. Now, in this video, I'm not going to focus on that rigid 3-2 build-up phase that I've talked about a lot in my videos, but I'm going to show you some new things. Here, starting with this sequence where I'm trying to illustrate the importance of decision-making. So here in this sequence, De Ligt gives the ball back to Onana. That was fairly early in the first half. One of the main reasons why it looked like Everton were absolutely suffocating the Manchester United players. Onana should have played it straight back towards De Ligt. Just find a way to go beyond Doucouré. Why? Because here in this area of the pitch, the left side, we do have 4 Manchester United players who are already in a diamond shape. There's a lot of triangles. There's a lot of opportunities for verticality as well as keeping the ball possession. But Onana does not do that. He does what I was afraid he was going to do, which is playing to the Everton trap. Because when he played the ball towards Mazraoui, basically this is an area with 6 Everton players. They were just hounding us. Of course, a lack of quality here, especially from Dalot with that ball. What is he trying to achieve? I don't know. But the point is that Onana put the ball in an area that is extremely saturated with Everton players, and they were able to just counter-press, get the ball in our own final third, and it resulted in a Beto header. Now, in this sequence, let's illustrate something different. So obviously here we have the 3 center-backs, that 3-2 shape with the 2 double pivot players. In this game, it was Ugarte and Casemiro. But here, what really drew my attention to this sequence is, of course, Bruno Fernandes, who for some reason dropped here. Now, I've seen Bruno Fernandes do that, especially when he played as one of the double pivot players, but I've never seen a Ruben Amorim team, especially at Manchester United, building up with 6 players. This is just overkill. What are we trying to do? So with Bruno Fernandes dropping here, I was not there in the dressing room. I was not there when they were having their tactical briefings. But I think after we lost Lisandro Martinez, we lost a very good deep line playmaker in Lisandro Martinez in this left-hand side of the pitch. Maybe that's why Bruno Fernandes drops deep. But remember, in this game, he played as one of the 10s. So he should be here. He should be receiving the ball rather than dropping deep to create something. So what happens here is that he receives the ball, he identifies this good pass, good, but this is Casemiro, guys. He's not, maybe if it was Casemiro from the first season at Manchester United, maybe, but not this Casemiro. This risk by Bruno Fernandes is absolutely unnecessary because now, after we lost that ball, we are exposed and we are in a situation where we are being attacked by 4 Everton players. And if it were not for this block by Maguire, there would have been 1-0 Everton at the 18th minute. Here's another example of just how dysfunctional the Manchester United players are. Again, those 3 center-backs with Maguire, Mazraoui and De Ligt. De Ligt with a very poor pass, and then this misunderstanding, this lack of synergy and understanding from Mazraoui and Maguire is the trigger for the Everton players to apply more pressure on us. By the time the ball comes to De Ligt, he just plays this speculative ball to no one. It's just nothing is working at Manchester United as far as the build-up is concerned. The players are confused, but they also don't seem to have the quality to just get themselves out of tricky situations. However, guys, and this is a pro tip for you, it doesn't matter if we win or not. It doesn't matter if we play well or not. There's always some positives when Manchester United plays. And here is an example, a scene that showcases the importance of positioning in the build-up phase. So as Mazraoui gets the ball, something interesting happens. Now look at this. Casemiro is the only player through the middle, and then Xerxes and Bruno Fernandes, the 2 10s in the system, are positioning themselves in very important and potent positions because they are positioned in a way that allows them to target those half spaces in the channels, which we know are extremely dangerous. And also by just leaving Casemiro here, they are positioning themselves further forward, therefore dragging some of the Everton players further back. But it's the positioning of Ugarte here. Ugarte has been extremely instrumental in us being able to execute this build-up plan. Because by going wide, especially with the rigid man-to-man system that David Moyes has, he's dragging Garner with him. And in fact, if you look at the average positions from this game, you see that Ugarte has been playing mainly on the right. And I suspect that it's because Dalot has been ineffective on the right, or maybe because Ugarte has identified wide spaces as areas where he can actually get the ball more and affect the game a little more. What matters here is that Ugarte has identified this flaw in the Everton system. And so by moving further forward, he is thinning the crowd through the middle. And now this kind of setup is what favors Xerxes and Bruno Fernandes, who both are very good in finding those spaces in the half spaces and in between the lines. Now Mazraoui, good progressor of the ball, is able to find Xerxes, who then in turn is able to find Højlund in space. And of course, that did not lead to a goal, even to a shot. But if we can maximize these kind of sequences, if we can do them consistently enough every game, we're going to be able to create some really interesting chances and interesting, patterns of build-up play. But of course, with Manchester United, there's just a lack of consistency. Now, that was the build-up phase. Now, but our defense was also just as shambolic because here, notice where the left is positioned. He's the left-sided centre-back. So he should be somewhere here, and yet he's positioned where Maguire is supposed to be. So our whole formation is lopsided towards the right, and Everton know that. So now they quickly move towards their right-hand side. Of course, these players, what are they doing? I mean, they're not pressing with any sort of intensity. They're not blocking any passing lanes. So again, our pressing is absolutely ineffective. And here to further highlight that, remember how far away the Ligt was? So he cannot really make up the ground. And so by the time he reaches Lindstrom, he is neither too close nor too far. He's absolutely useless. Whether he's here or not, it doesn't serve any purpose. Now Lindstrom is able to play a ball into the path of Garner. Dorgu is caught in a very bad position, so he needs to make up all of that ground, and then he's able to find Beto. Of course, Everton were able to create a lot of those chances by simply carving us open. And this is like one of the most important ones, since the keen-eyed among you will know this as the sequence where Everton scored their second goal. Doucouré has been absolutely instrumental because he, of course, scored the goal. What is the Bruno doing here? I mean, is he fighting for the ball? What is he doing? I mean, I don't really get it. It's just too easy for Doucouré. But more importantly here is the positioning of the Ligt. What is he doing? If you remember the video I made about the Ligt before we signed him, I said we should avoid the Ligt, mainly because his sense of positioning is extremely bad for a professional footballer. I mean, he's fast, he's good physically, his ball playing ability is quite good, but his sense of positioning, and it's very important for a center back, is a little bit off. Like here, either you commit and you just get in the face of the player, or you drop back so that you kind of like restrict the space in which they can target you, behind your defense. So now here, the Ligt is doing nothing. So look, he's absolutely useless. He serves no purpose whatsoever. And then now Beto is going to be making a run from deep, with Doucouré, of course, following him. This is what we call, shadow striker. This is a perfect shadow striker play from Beto, in that he's making the run in front of the defender. Therefore, he's avoiding the offside trap. And here, Maguire is going to start his series of 3 defensive mistakes that are going to lead to that goal. If you're Maguire, if you're not fast, you are not Van de Ven or Upamecano, then don't do this. Drop back. Try to drop back to limit the space that Beto can target. But now Beto goes in. He's obviously faster. And then he plays the ball. Second mistake for Maguire. Look at the ball. Look how close it is. Just slide tackle. Just throw it into a corner or play it back to Onana so that he can clear. Maguire should have done better in this sequence. No, the ball goes through him. And then, of course, now he's just being reactive to what's happening, but obviously not fast enough, because Doucouré, making that run from deep, he started the sequence. He's come in behind Maguire. Maguire is unaware of what's behind him. And of course, we are able to concede. You could make a case Onana could have done better. I believe he should have done better as well. Just command your area, come in and punch the ball away. Both players should have done better, but especially Maguire. I mean, 3 defensive mistakes in a row. I defended him a few videos ago, but of course, in this sequence, there is no defending him. I mean, he was just bad, and he clearly cost us the goal. Right after halftime, this shot of Ruben Amorim, I mean, dude, I can feel his pain. And I was just thinking, look, if we don't get anything from this game, he's going to murder one of the players. He's just going to murder someone, because that look, that's not a good look. And you got to sympathize with every manager that Manchester United has had. I mean, their mental health is, in disarray. I mean, managing Manchester United is extremely tough. It's like managing an asylums team. That's how bad it is. But of course, Ruben Amorim also in his pre-match press conference talked about Garnacho and about the impact that he can have off the bench. And that's exactly what happened. Not only him, but Dorgu as well. So Dorgu and Garnacho on that left-hand side just demonstrated the importance of having two players playing in roles that they're familiar with and just being in tip-top shape, okay? Both of them have that intensity, and they also have that little bit of arrogance in just taking on the defenders. I'm a better dribbler than you. I'm faster than you. I'm going to go all the way. And here Garnacho was able to get that free kick that, of course, allowed Bruno Fernandes to score from a free kick. And then, of course, this sequence right here. Look at what Dorgu is doing and Garnacho. Their movement here is extremely important. So Dorgu is coming in inside, playing in the underlap. And then as a result, what happens with Garnacho is going to move to the position that he favors most, which is going out wide where he can collect the ball in space, then run at the opposition. This is a very important move, and it's clear that both Garnacho and Dorgu, these are their best roles and positions. So Dorgu here collects the ball in the underlap, and of course, he's able to use his pace and his balance to get another free kick, which of course Ugarte was able to score from. And Patrick Dorgu has been fouled the most. 5 times out of every player on the pitch, 2 times more than the second one on the list, which is Manuel Ugarte. And that has allowed us to gain more control of the game. And of course, as I've shown, both goals that we scored came from free kicks. So the fact that Garnacho and Dorgu were actually willing to attack the space and to get in 1v1 situations against the opposition defenders is what actually allowed us to get back in the game and to get something out of what was an abysmal performance from the Red Devil.